Good morning. Good morning. So one question that comes from the gospel today is this: who owns God? Who claims God? Whose side is God on? Is God a Patriots or a Rams? By the way, those are the teams that are playing this Super Bowl. You don't know. There's an issue that comes through the gospel. Whose side is God on? Is God on our side or not? And if we think that way, do we really see God? In some sense, we have been taught that God is on our side, that God has blessed and ordained the United States of America, that God has blessed especially those of us who are Christians, who are doing well in life. God has blessed us. God has given us success. There are lots of people who believe that a successful life is a sure sign of the blessing and the presence of God. And there's nothing wrong with believing that God is with us, but if God is with us, is God also with them? Whoever the them is. Could God also root for the Rams? Could God favor another country that's not the United States of America? Could God bless others who are not Christian, who are Muslim or Jewish or Buddhist or non-believers? Is God blessing those who are not successful in life? Those who are destitute? Those who are not doing well? Are they with Jesus Christ as well? Well, it's a question to consider. If you remember last Sunday, Jesus was in the temple. He had the scroll of the prophet Isaiah, and he was saying how the Spirit of the Lord is upon him because he's been sent to do all these good things, like bring good news to the poor, release to the captives, eyesight to the blind, and to let the oppressed go free. Last Sunday, everything was going great. But then suddenly today, the tide turns, and the mood changes, and the same people who just last week were lifting up Jesus, this week are ready to throw him off a cliff. And all because Jesus has the audacity to suggest that maybe God is not just with them, but God is with the other folks too. And it all starts there in the synagogue. The second that someone looks at Jesus and says, wait a minute, that's Joseph's son. And everyone in the synagogue says, oh yeah, that's Joseph's son. And this change comes upon them because they have a familiarity with the person who's standing before them. No longer is it Jesus the Christ, but it's Jesus the son of Joseph. Familiarity is an odd thing. The more familiar you are with something, the more likely you are not to see it or to appreciate it. For example, think about this. Those of us who live in Springfield, Massachusetts regularly drive near the Basketball Hall of Fame. It's on the way to Connecticut or to Agawam. It's that odd building on the other side of the highway. And at night, I've often said, what is that big moon in the sky? Oh no, that's from the Basketball Hall of Fame. I forget about it, and I take it for granted. But you know, right now, this morning, there is a young man somewhere in Chicago who grew up as growing up a Chicago Bulls fan. And he's hearing these amazing stories of Michael Jordan, maybe even Scottie Pippen, when he would, in all his heart, love to come to the Basketball Hall of Fame in Springfield, Massachusetts. But there's no way his parents have the wherewithal to get all the kids in the car to drive out here and then drive back to Chicago. It's a dream he has, but it's never going to happen. It's this thing that he longs for in his heart. It's special and magical. But for us, it's just another thing you pass by. Just something on the way to somewhere else. It's not special. You know, there's a moment in the gospel when Jesus goes from being special to being the son of Joseph. This moment he goes from being the Messiah and the Holy One of God, and then suddenly that's gone. The shine is gone. The magic, the beauty of God is gone because of familiarity. Because of all the associations that everyone there has with this family. They know Mary. They know Joseph. They've seen Jesus growing up. It's the same being standing before them, yet he's changed in their eyes. So that's why he says, a prophet is not accepted in his or her hometown. The implications about this for us are tremendous because it is easy to forget just how incredible it is that we have Jesus Christ. Just how incredible it is that we encounter Jesus Christ on a regular basis. If we come here somewhat regularly, if we come here every week, which I hope we do, if we come here even once or twice a month, we hear the stories, we look at his image in the stained glass window, we come and we put our hands out, we receive his body and his blood, yet it's so easy for this to become not something incredible and amazing and life-changing, but to become just another thing we pass by on the way to the end of the day. Oh, it's Sunday morning. It's the Super Bowl. Well, we're going to get dressed. We'll get breakfast. We'll drive to the cathedral. Hopefully, we'll find some parking. We will reach out our hands and be given the gift of the Savior of the universe, the one who has created it all. Then we'll get back in the car. We'll drive home. We'll have some wings. We'll watch the game. We'll go to sleep. In the middle of that day, wasn't there something incredible and life-changing that happened? At some point in the middle of that day, didn't you reach out your hands and receive the life of God into your life? And receive the blessing of God into your blessings? The being of the one who created the universe? You were set free from sin, but you didn't even know it, maybe. It's just one thing from among many. It's because it was not Christ you found in the temple, but it was the son of Joseph. We are blinded by our own familiarity. So it's worth thinking about the experience that we have when we find Jesus. When we come here as people who are here on a regular basis, where we have the immense and awesome presence of God, which we may not even see. We just pass by. So let's ask ourselves, it's a season of Epiphany. Have we had these Epiphany moments with Jesus Christ? What he's offering today in the synagogue is the power of Christ for those who see the regularity of the son of Joseph. And for them, it's so convenient for them that Jesus, the Messiah, is someone they know. You know, the dictum, Tip O'Neill said, all politics is local. So if your town has a politician who's elected to a high official, you can count on good things coming to your town. If our own member, Jesse Letterman, who's a city councilor, were one day elected as governor of the Commonwealth, I would hope that the spoils of the Commonwealth would come right here. And if not, we're going to have to talk to him. The people are so glad the Messiah is one of us. He's one of our own. It's good news for the neighborhood. But the problem with this thinking is that it's wrapped up in this thought that if he is ours, he cannot be theirs. It's got to be us or them, whoever they are. He can't be both. Ours is possessive. It's preferential. And Jesus knows what they're thinking. He reads their minds. He can see it. So he says to them, you know, you're going to say this dictum to me. Physician, cure yourself. He's saying, you're going to tell me I got to start with us first, right? And then you're going to tell me I should do all the things here in Nazareth that I did in Capernaum. That you want to be special. You want to have preferential treatment because I'm one of yours. And he tells them no. Or at least he doesn't say yes. And it's not that he hates them. He loves them. It's not that he has anything against them. It's just that his purpose is sent somewhere else. As a child, and Mom, you're going to have to leave for this part, okay? As a child, I remember fighting with my sister. She's a couple years younger than I am. And it wasn't like fist fighting or anything like that, but there was a lot of bickering. And in my mind, it was always my sister's fault. Because I, of course, was Christ-like. And when my mom got involved, I was resentful because not only was she not on my side, but she had preferential treatment for my sister, who was younger and weaker and more vulnerable. And she said this thing I always hated. She would say, it takes two to tango, as if I had some part to play, which I usually had. But then she would bend down and care for my sister, and I would be jealous. But then she would bend down and care for me. And that's what Jesus does. He's going to love us. He's going to be with us. He's going to care for us. But his mission and his focus are on the weak and the vulnerable vulnerable and the needy, he will go to your sister first if she's the one who's the weaker. That's the Jesus of the Gospels. He has a preferential treatment and option for the poor. He said it just last week. I'm here for the poor, the prisoners, the blind, and the oppressed. And it's not that he's one of theirs. He's not that he's one of ours. He's for everyone. And the truth is that whenever we draw a line between us and them, between the out and the in, the truth is that whenever we put up a wall, the Jesus Christ of the Gospels is going to be on the other side of that wall. And look at these stories he tells today, that the prophet Elijah, of all the widows in Israel, didn't go to any one of them. He went to Zarephath in Sidon, who was one of them. And the prophet Elisha, of all the lepers in Israel, didn't go to one of the lepers in Israel, of which there were many, but he went to Naaman, who was Syrian. He went to one of them. How hard it can be to accept that God loves them. Who is the them for you? Who is our them? God loves them. God cares for them. It's so hard for the people of Nazareth, and especially because they assume that because he's one of their own, that they're getting it first. But what a gift that Jesus gives the people in his home synagogue. What a favor, because he's telling them, look beyond yourselves. See me in what you're doing. I don't know what you're saying, he says, about this carpenter's son. Go beyond that. Go beyond yourself and see the world that you pass by every single day is filled with God. Go beyond yourself and see that the struggles that you struggle with every day are filled with God. These common things you discard. These common people you walk by on the streets. The people who in your mind, who in the news, who in the politics we've been taught are bad. Jesus says, I'm there. Look for me there. Go beyond being divided. Go beyond being strangers. Go beyond building walls. And let your eyes see the Christ that is within all things. Give yourself up to that Christ. Sometimes when we come to find Jesus, we have to give ourselves up. And it can be today. It can be in the communion at the altar that we reach out our hands to receive. It can be in the person or the people next to you today. It can be in those you've labeled as them. And it can be in the prayers of your hearts tonight as you lay your head on the pillow and you reflect about God in your own life. And he's saying, I'm not Joseph's son. I'm not one thing of many. I'm not an average, simple piece of your life. I am your life. I am your Savior. I love you, he said. In this season of Epiphany, especially, he's inviting us to this dance. He's inviting us to this grace. And all we need to do is say, yes, Lord, I see you there.